The Berlin Wall, a symbol of Cold War division. It stood for 28 years. It divided a city, it divided families. Built in 1961, the wall was made of concrete and barbed wire. It stretched for miles through the heart of Berlin. The East German government said it was to keep out fascists, but it was really meant to keep East Germans in. Life in the East was difficult. People lacked freedom. They could not travel freely. They could not speak their minds. The Berlin Wall became a physical manifestation of this oppression. The wall was heavily guarded. East German soldiers patrolled it day and night. Many people tried to escape, but hundreds were killed trying to cross. The Berlin Wall seemed impenetrable. It cast a long shadow over Berlin and the world. After World War II, Europe was in ruins. The continent was divided. It was split between the Communist East and the Democratic West. This division became known as the Iron Curtain. The Soviet Union, led by Joseph Stalin, controlled the East. They imposed communist rule on Eastern Europe. The United States and its allies supported democracy in the West. Tensions between the two superpowers grew. The Cold War had begun. The Berlin Wall became a physical symbol of this ideological divide. It represented the stark contrast between communist and democratic ideologies. The wall divided families, friends, and a nation. It was a powerful reminder of the political realities of the time. The Berlin Wall became a focal point of Cold War tensions. It was a stage for superpower rivalry. Both sides used the wall for propaganda. The wall became a symbol of oppression for the West, but for the East, it was a symbol of protection from the West. The world watched and waited. By the late 1980s, things were changing rapidly across the globe. The Soviet Union was weakening. Its economy was struggling under the weight of its own inefficiencies. People in Eastern Europe were demanding change, their voices growing louder with each passing day. They wanted freedom and democracy, yearning for a future where they could speak and act without fear. In 1987, U.S. President Ronald Reagan challenged Soviet leader Mikhail Gorbachev in a historic speech. He spoke at the Brandenburg Gate in Berlin, a city divided by the Cold War. "Mr. Gorbachev," he said, "tear down this wall." His words echoed through the hearts of many. His words resonated around the world, inspiring hope and courage in those who heard them. They gave hope to those living behind the Iron Curtain. Gorbachev introduced reforms in response to the growing unrest. He called them glasnost and perestroika. Glasnost meant openness, a new era of transparency. It allowed for greater freedom of speech and public discourse. Perestroika meant restructuring. It aimed to reform the Soviet economy, making it more efficient and responsive to the needs of its people. These reforms had unintended consequences, sparking a wave of activism and protest. They unleashed forces that would ultimately lead to the collapse of the Soviet Union, changing the world forever. In 1989, protests erupted across Eastern Europe. People demanded change, their resolve unshakable. They wanted an end to communist rule, a new beginning, free from oppression. The Berlin Wall, once a symbol of Soviet power, was now a target of the people's anger and determination. The pressure on the East German government was mounting, the cries for freedom growing louder. The wall could not hold forever. It was a moment of triumph, a new era dawning. Section 4. Voices of Freedom, leading the charge. Many brave individuals challenged the Berlin Wall, standing up against oppression and demanding their right to freedom. Their courage and determination helped bring about its fall, marking a pivotal moment in history. One such person was Günter Schabowski, a key figure in this monumental event. He was the party boss of East Berlin, a position that gave him significant influence. On November 9, 1989, he made a stunning announcement that would change the course of history. He said East Germans could travel freely to West Berlin, a statement that ignited a wave of euphoria. Another key figure was Mikhail Gorbachev, whose policies and decisions were instrumental. As the leader of the Soviet Union, he played a crucial role in the events that unfolded. His reforms helped weaken the Soviet grip on Eastern Europe, paving the way for change. He chose not to intervene as the wall came down, allowing history to take its course. The people of East Germany were the true heroes, their collective efforts making the impossible possible. They risked their lives to cross the wall, driven by an unyielding desire for freedom. They protested in the streets, their voices echoing the demand for change. Their courage and determination forced the government's hand, leading to the wall's eventual fall. The fall of the Berlin Wall was not the work of one person or one moment, but a collective effort. It was the culmination of years of struggle, sacrifice, and unwavering hope. It was a testament to the power of the human spirit, a victory for freedom and democracy. The desire for freedom and democracy, a force that can never be extinguished. Section 5, November 9, 1989, a night of joy and jubilation. This date would forever be etched in the annals of history. November 9, 1989. The world watched in amazement as history unfolded before their eyes. East Germans flocked to the wall. They demanded to cross, yearning for freedom and unity. The guards were overwhelmed by the sheer number of people. They opened the gates, unable to hold back the tide of change. People poured into West Berlin, strangers embraced, united by a shared sense of triumph and relief. Tears of joy streamed down their faces. The celebration lasted for days, a testament to the human spirit. People danced on top of the wall. They chipped away at it with hammers and chisels, reclaiming their freedom piece by piece. The Berlin Wall, once a symbol of oppression, was now a place of celebration and hope. The fall of the Berlin Wall was a momentous event, a turning point in history. It marked the end of the Cold War. It brought an end to decades of division and strife. It was a victory for freedom and democracy. The world had changed, and there was no turning back. The impossible had happened. The Berlin Wall, once thought to be impenetrable, was now a pile of rubble, a relic of the past. It was a testament to the power of the people, a reminder that unity can overcome any obstacle. It showed that even the most formidable barriers can be overcome. The night of November 9, 1989 will forever be remembered as a night of joy and jubilation. Section 6. A World Transformed. The Wall's Enduring Legacy. The fall of the Berlin Wall had a profound impact on the world. It led to the reunification of Germany. It hastened the collapse of the Soviet Union. It ushered in a new era of freedom and democracy across Eastern Europe. The wall's fall showed that democracy could triumph over communism. It inspired people around the world to fight for their own freedom. The events of 1989 continue to shape our world today. The fall of the Berlin Wall is a reminder that we should never take our freedom for granted. It shows that even in the darkest of times, hope can prevail. The Berlin Wall serves as a powerful reminder. It reminds us of the human cost of division. It teaches us the importance of freedom and unity. Its legacy continues to inspire us today. Section 7. The Fall of the Berlin Wall, a testament to the human spirit. The fall of the Berlin Wall was a pivotal moment in human history. It was a testament to the power of the human spirit. It showed that ordinary people can achieve extraordinary things when they come together, when they stand up for what they believe in. The wall's legacy continues to inspire us today. It reminds us that we should never give up hope, that we should always strive for a better future, a future where walls no longer divide us. The fall of the Berlin Wall is a story that needs to be told and retold. It is a story of courage, hope, and the triumph of the human spirit. Let us never forget the lessons of the Berlin Wall. Let us continue to build bridges instead of walls. Let us create a world where freedom and democracy reign supreme.